Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Our industry is riddled with people just looking too much at their competitors that whether it's conscious or unconscious, they're losing themselves in the process, actually. So many people have experienced what you've experienced and what I've experienced. They just don't talk about it. That's the power of this conversation because it makes people feel way less alone.
What is the worst case scenario? Like, honestly, losing all the things that you have. I mean, you came with nothing. You're going to leave with nothing. I came to the United States twice with literally one luggage. Can I do it again with the experience I have? Oh my God, I would kill it.
Most of this industry does not have a real back end. No CRM, no automation. In this day, it's kind of crazy.
Right, I know.
It's insane. I hope I don't cry on your podcast. You've pushed me more than any other person.
Really? I know you said that. I'm like, me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm game. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it 300%.
100%.
So like,
It's when I said 100.
No,
but yes, like,
but
you
it's
have
true.
to. This is kind of like the conversations that her and I have
every day. Yeah. I'm glad that people can see our friendship finally.
Yeah.
Behind every beautiful wedding is a story worth preserving. Hi, I'm your host, Andrea, founder of the nation's premier bouquet preservation studio. Through building that company, I've had a front row seat to thousands of weddings and the incredible professionals behind them. On Bridal Club, I bring you conversations with the experts shaping today's weddings. It's for couples planning their perfect day and the pros who make it happen. Welcome to the club, to Bridal Club.
Welcome back to another episode of Bridal Club. You are going to be so excited to listen who we have on the podcast today. This person is so iconic that she doesn't need a last name. You've heard that before, haven't you?
I love you for saying that.
I just like it's so true. She has a very unique name, but she literally doesn't have to use her last name. And when I say that, I really mean it. I, in fact, was on a call with Mindy Weiss, which she is my mentor. And I mentioned Persephone, and she knew exactly who I was talking about.
You did not tell me that.
Didn't I?
No. What?
Yeah, I said something like, yeah, Persephone this. And she goes, oh, yeah, I know Persephone. I was like, holy cow.
I just passed all the way away.
Yeah. With all that being said, I have Persephone on the podcast. She's the CEO of the Media Socialites. She's actually been on the podcast before, like about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And this time, I mean, we're going to talk about all the things, obviously her story, where she is today. She just turned 7. Her business, her first baby turned 7 just yesterday. Yeah. And they did a whole rebrand. Her website is incredible. Her shots are incredible too. But we're going to be talking about business because her and I actually started really becoming really close over the past 6 months. We talk almost every single day. And I've learned so much about her. In fact, we are here with a production team run by Michael with MZ Studio. And she was the one who recommended to me. And he was a life changer. I cannot explain to you how much that really changed my life and my husband's life, by the way. With all that being said, help me welcome Persephone to the show.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for the hype, friend. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to have conversations, basically like taking our chats and our audio notes and then bringing them to life here so that people can see our real friendship because, you know, I wax poetic about you all the time too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So excited.
Every time that somebody goes on Instagram, everything looks so perfect and people running their business, they always seem like they know what they're doing. And truly, there's a lot of big things that we have to deal with. We're going to uncover it on this episode.
So excited.
Yes.
So excited to expose all of my dirty laundry.
Yeah. I think it's important, especially now that, like, for instance, on here on Bridal Club, we have a lot of vendors actually listening and really taking notes, especially when we have people like you that people look up to and they're learning a lot from. So again, thank you so much for being here. Take me back to where you started.
Yes. So I started at Wedding Wire and the Knot when I was 20 years old. Wow. And I know I was a baby intern and I worked my way up and I was there for 10 years. And I launched bridal fashion because there was no dresses on the website, which is super weird. And I became the VP of partnerships, which basically meant that I was like running a little business within a much bigger business. So I was creating really cool campaigns for Target, David's Bridal, Monique Lullier, West Elm, social and influencer partnerships that weren't really a thing at that time. And I just felt like every agency I worked with didn't give a damn about the outcome. They were just trying to like check a box. Yeah. And I was like, surely there has to be a better experience, especially within the wedding industry. And there was actually no marketing agencies in the wedding industry at the time until TMS. So that was officially 7 years ago when I left my full-time job, but I actually started the company 10 years ago. There was a little overlappage there. So,
I mean, if you told me that your experience was 20 years, I would have believed it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I have been in the industry for almost 20 years. I'm like,
Well, you look so young.
face is ageless, timeless, baby. But yeah, it's been a while. And TMS, the Media Socialites, started because no one was offering social media to our industry, which is so crazy. And then COVID happened and it really propelled my business. And then we've just continued to shape as the industry has continued to shape, and you go where attention flows, you know?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So you and I connected back when I was planning my wedding. Tell us why.
I was your content creator for your wedding.
I feel like that's when content creator was like a newer thing.
Yes, but we had been doing it for years. We had been doing it for vendors, and then Vogue did a feature on my business because I know I actually also passed away that day too. Because we were one of the first to do it and offer it to brides, and you DM'd me and we got on the phone immediately, and I was like, this girl is cool. She's local. You didn't know I was local, which was also cool. And yeah, I was so honored to be part of your day. I will never forget it. It was amazing.
Yeah. And I think what I said the first time that you were on the show, I was like, I reached out to a few different companies. You were the biggest one that I reached out to because again, back then there were not a lot of people doing that.
Correct.
And I was like, she's probably going to be extra expensive. I'm not going to be able to afford her. She's probably ultra busy that she's not going to have any capacity. And the fact that, first of all, you were not cheap, but obviously. No, which is great because ultimately.
But not insane at the same time.
No. Right, correct.
Right. There's a balance.
It was one of those things you really get what you pay for. And with your company, it truly was that way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was so fun. And it was rare that I personally was able to go. That was the other kismet thing, right? Because you're like, oh, you're in Dallas? Yeah. Oh, well, I'm getting married here. I was like, I'm going to go because I like you and I am available this day. So why the hell not?
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah. And it was absolutely great. I've said this before multiple times, but if you're getting married, you need a content creator.
You must.
You have to have her.
You must.
Yes.
And vendors too. I think there's a lot of people with their creators at weddings. That's a whole other can of worms. But yeah, that was how we first crossed paths.
Yeah. And then lately, I guess we connected again because you guys, I've talked about Whip Up multiple times, but as you know, I've been on the board. This is my second year. And last year, I was spending so much time, literally 10, 12 hours every week on event days. It was 40 hours. I'm not kid you not. Because it was sometimes the day before the event day, helping after, and I just could not function that way. And a lot of people were asking us, because we grew a lot, a lot of people were asking us hey, we need to know who's doing your socials. I'm like, can you do my social? I'm like, no, I have my own business and that's just not, I can't, I don't have capacity to do anything like that. But then I literally thought of Persephone. I was like, oh my gosh, what better person to really take Whippa Dallas to the next level if she's on the board with me. Plus, I selfishly kind of wanted the help too.
So happy. You and Jordan Fathery both came to me at the same time, and you and I got on the phone, and I was just like, I need you to tell me the truth on what it's really going to be like.
Yeah.
And because we already had a friendship and knowing of each other, I was like, we can definitely do this and rock it out. And it's been so fun. And we've become so close.
Yeah. And honestly, if you see what I did before and what they're doing today, because Persephone's company, the Media Socialites, is the one that is actually curating all of our beautiful posts. And everything looks so stunning. And I am just so happy that I get to work with her and her team every day.
Yes, I'm so happy that it's worked out. I told you that I couldn't do it without my team. And if the expectation was me, it was never going to happen. But I'm just so happy also that you are able to give yourself back that time, because what you did was incredibly impressive. And I was
thank you.
Girl,
yeah,
if you're done with this floral preservation thing, come on down. But no, seriously, it's been so fun working with you. And then, of course, our friendship developing and constantly helping each other with our businesses.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Definitely. And then also, again, going back to Whippa, her company is really pushing the limits and taking this chapter to the next level. And I'm just so happy that you're getting so much involved. You're helping with education and bringing new people in. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, but you really pushed me, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's my first time ever being on a board. I felt, especially the first couple of months, like a little fish out of water, because I'm like, I am not used to boundaries.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And so what am I allowed to do that's not going to piss off everybody? And you're like, just go. Just keep pushing, keep asking, keep doing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But you're a badass CEO when you push the boundaries, truly, because and speaking of, you have to push the boundaries on the one side and be super creative. But on the other hand, You have to have systems in place. And
Mhm.
something that I've learned as I talk to more and more creatives is
Mhm.
that a lot of people look, again, picture perfect on Instagram, but they have
Girl.
no systems.
Girl, we talk about this all the
Yeah,
time. Most of this industry does not have a real back end.
right.
It's like on sticky notes
Hmm.
and like notes apps and emails and text messages and like no tracking, no CRM,
Yeah.
no automation. I'm like, in this day, it's kind of crazy.
Right. And big
Yeah.
companies too, like people that
Big
you would
companies.
never think
Big
of.
companies, friends. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I know.
It's insane. And so sometimes I like to share those things because, like, when we're talking through different challenges together, it's like, just FYI, we're crushing it. We're crushing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You are crushing
Oh
it.
my gosh,
You have,
thank you.
like, everyone here knows how, like, organized. And
Well, thank you.
I mean, truly, though, I'm like seriously blown away by this building, girl. I'm like,
Well, thanks. That means
damn.
a lot coming from you. 'Cause- yeah.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I've seen it online, right? And you've told me about it. And I've seen like the Instagram reels and the TikToks, but I'm like, friend,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. When people come see what we do, what we produce, meet the team and see how organized we are.
Detailed.
And the thing is that we can only be that way because our CRM system is great and we are able to be organized that way too. Like
Right.
if I'm in China right now, I really want to be able to be basically here,
Mhm.
but digitally, you know?
Absolutely.
And the only way for me to be able to do that is through having a CRM and being organized more than people know. I know you just launched a CRM system.
Yes.
I would love for you to talk about that.
I'd be so
please.
happy to.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if some of your listeners know what a CRM is. So we're just going to like start from the
Okay,
basics.
please let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a customer relationship management system, and it basically takes all of your information and puts it in one source of truth, right? So in the wedding industry, and it started because, and I've shared this with you, like we were operating from 50 different systems.
Yeah.
Every client was operating differently. That is the worst, least profitable thing you can possibly do.
Mhm.
There were notes apps, there was text. I mean, like the whole thing. I'm a big voice noter, like no transcripts. It was like truly terrible as far as the guest experience was concerned. So we built the CRM because it was like, this is the source of truth and it's going to connect to Slack and we're going to automate a lot of things so that with one task or one place to put information, it's going to tell all the other teams and give transparency to all the
Mhm.
other teams, right? And so what I found with the industry is like, especially with planners and production houses, is they are duplicating information over and over and over again, and information is getting lost.
Mhm.
So they'll have Google Drive and then a timeline app that just focuses on timelines, and then emails and text messages. Nothing is being tracked
Yeah.
in one place,
Yeah.
and they have things in Google Docs. So we created it so it was like when you make one change in your CRM, to the entire scope of the project, it notifies all of the appropriate people in Slack or in an email. I'm like,
Yeah.
hours of time
Yeah.
saved.
I think one of the first times that we actually connected pretty deep, I was
Mhm.
actually telling you that there's a planner, really well known. She
Mhm.
produces the most stunning events. And when she told me that she didn't have a CRM, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yes. And I remember I told you, I'm like very inclined to do it for her because honestly, like I mean, I love that kind of
Yeah.
stuff because you know that once you have that, you can grow exponentially.
So much.
Yes.
So
And
much.
then when I was telling you that, you're like, well, I actually do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, perfect.
Yeah.
Now I have somebody to
Yeah.
send people to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like people listening, they're like, oh my gosh, another system learning, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Walk me through what it will be like to work with you with that CRM
Yeah.
system.
So we're actually working on a really big overhaul for a partner right now. They are a big company and they do millions and millions in business, okay? And they are operating out of Google Docs and
No
emails and
way.
texts.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
okay? So I just need to like preface that. It's plateauing and then there's things that just fall through the cracks naturally, right?
Yeah.
Like it just is going to happen. So the first step is we audit and we listen to all the problems that we need to fix. And it always starts with like how we're going to configure this to work best with your team. And then we work with your team to educate them on how to use this and then continue to make efficiencies and automation. So for this client, we're automating Slack messages, we're automating contracts, we're automating invoicing. They're doing invoicing by hand.
No.
Yes.
No
girl,
way.
Yes. And they do things in 3 different installments. So each time,
Wow.
yeah. Okay. So I was like, no, we're not doing that
Oh my
anymore.
God.
And then Quo, which I think I told you about, I think it was called Open Phone, but it's like a transcription of all the text messages and
yeah.
phone. Yeah. So now all those back and forth messages with the planners will be transcribed in one place.
Wow.
So everyone can see. It's just, where can everyone see everything that's happening on this project? Now it just lives in one place. So it's a lot, but we hold your hand all the way through and then continue to hold your hand.
That's the biggest differentiator from like just hiring a CRM. I don't know if I told you this, but I almost used Salesforce. And actually,
you told me that. I was like, Salesforce.
We did hire them actually, and we worked with them for 6 months and they failed. And I had to hire a lawyer to basically tell them I need my money back. It was $15,000. And thankfully they were so wrong that we just won and they just refunded us. But it was really chaotic and we did not have anybody holding our hands. So it was kind of like, here's a big system, too complicated that it's not going to even serve you well, and figure out on yourself.
To be honest with you, I don't think that's being set up for success in general.
Right.
But also different things change, right? Your needs continue to change. And so we want to make sure that my team is there when the new person comes on board and they need to be trained. Like we train them so that we're taking that responsibility off of them. So yeah, it's been really awesome, actually.
That's awesome. Good for you. So proud of you.
Thank you.
So nobody likes change. Most people don't like change. Oftentimes you and I have to like push ourselves to continue to innovate. But most people, like, again, when they think about a system like this or having systems in place, they just kind of like go like, no, I don't want to deal with that, you know? But if you think about it, it's really like riding a bike, right? I mean, it really does take time for you to learn it. However, once you really learn it, it really will take you from one place to another. And this is how much, like, if you can just free your time instead of actually just working inside of your business and focusing on your business, oh my gosh, your growth can be exponentially.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And I also think right now my team's working on additional automations for like all of my tasks, all of my emails. How can I bulk some of this? And AI is a very confusing world. And maybe some people are thinking, what does AI have to do with marketing? It has everything to do with marketing. And that's why I kept saying that we've continued to innovate outside of social media so that we're helping people's businesses inside, and then we can help them outside with AIO and SEO and all those fun things too.
Which, by the way, we had Mary Wright Shaw earlier on the
love her.
I know, I love her so much.
She was my first wedding here in Dallas before I moved here.
Really?
Yes, her and Birch, and we were here for 5 days. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to send you the video. It went super viral. That was like a game-changing moment in my career.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love her so much. She's lovely, and please listen to her episode. It's going to launch after this one.
So excited.
But she actually lost her Instagram. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, because we were trying to help her get it back, and we were fighting with people in Bitcoin for her twice.
Wow.
Twice, negotiating with basically like terrorists.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Exactly. And it's one of those things, like, you just need to understand that all your eggs cannot be in one basket. So again, having systems in place, having a badass website really is super helpful, because ultimately people that go to Instagram, they're still going to land on your website.
Of course. Yeah. I know, Mary. I was like, oh, damn.
I know.
Yeah, it's really tough. And usually we've been able to get it back. But in that instance, like, they were not.
Yeah, certified is so important. Which, by the way, when you and I met, I think I told you I was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising every single year, which we still do. However, is vital for our company. However, I wasn't understanding how much we were spending versus what we were invoiced. And I learned that $50,000 over the course of 8 months were actually stolen from us, which somebody had put their, oh my gosh, it was horrible. And the fact that I started disputing all those charges from Facebook, then I got banned in a way. It was just absolutely horrific.
And didn't it impact your Instagram views as well? Yeah,
it
that
like
was
dropped.
insane.
Soon after I disputed everything, it dropped so much that $50,000 in the grand scheme of things, I know that's a lot of money, which is a lot of money for everybody, but $50,000, losing that over losing the way Instagram was working for us, it was way more expensive. So I was like, cancel the disputes, and I'd rather lose the $50,000.
I remember that.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that I was never able to get my Instagram back to where it is now until just recently. And it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely get blackballed by Meta, which is really insane.
Yeah.
But to your point, you have to have multiple places. And most importantly, your website's the only thing you own at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
And like TikTok changes and all these things change. There's too much variability in putting all of your emphasis into one place ever, frankly, except for yourself.
Yeah, 100%, which leads me to the next topic,
Yeah,
personal
totally.
brands.
Yes.
We love that topic. I mean,
Mhm.
look at her. She's obviously dressing the part
Thanks, babe.
always. I mean, but it's one of those
Mhm.
things like your personal brand is so crucial to who you are and your business.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I mean, I've been on a journey. Okay. I'm going to try and condense this story. So, when I started my business, I started it under the guise of another account. It was called Bridal Vogue.
Yes.
And that's how you connected with me, actually. And I built that really quickly to 200,000 followers. And then I had my personal account. And that was because I was going to get sued by Wedding Wear and the Knot if they knew that I was Bridal Vogue until they knew. And then that's a whole other conversation. And then I left. So, but all of that to say, recently, as in within the past 9 months, I flipped my account name so that Persephone Says, which is my personal brand account, is what was Bridal Vogue, what I also rebranded as something else. I was just like, my audience is the wedding industry. What am I trying to save here and make it into an editorial when editorial is not what it used to be? When like these are my people. So we're flipping this, which by the way is so scary to do because you can't, with that size of an audience, it's not like it just flips. It takes 14 days and then you have a window to access that name again. So I was flipping one from Bridal Vogue to Persephone Says. I was flipping Persephone Says into Persephone Says podcast. You know, like my eyes are like twisted all up from that. But it was really great because I'm like, okay, so now this is the thought leadership account, period.
Yeah.
Like this is what we're doing. I'm pushing my podcast into different places. And if you want to listen to more clips, you can go over here. If you want to see like the whole picture, we're over here. But I think I was very confused for a period of time as to like who I was until I cut my hair and then I became all right now.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I tried that and I failed. I actually cut it like,
I know, I love it short
oh
though.
my gosh, no.
I know.
I'm like, I'm so glad that it's growing.
I know it looks beautiful, but I love it short. But
Really?
I'm also like in that
No, but
phase.
you know, like, and again, talk about like being iconic. Like, if I, and I think I told you, I would look like Lord Farquaad if I like
yes,
were
totally is the best.
like, I just really want to wear a wig just so you can see how stupid I would look. Like,
You're so silly.
You have to be very iconic to pull off that hair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I went from very long blonde and like my hair was like always this like mermaid wave and that was my thing. And I had a friend who was my manager for a long time at Wedding Wear. She's like, do not ever touch that hair. That is your brand.
Wow.
And, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I didn't for 15 years until I made it red. And then I was like, I hate this. I just need to like start anew.
Wow.
And it was almost like as stupid as that might sound, but for the ladies and my gays on here that are listening, like they'll understand that it really does something to you. And then when I chopped it, I was like, I feel different.
Wow.
And I started carrying myself differently and my fashion started to be different too.
Funny.
Yeah, it is. Like it's hair.
So yeah, I know, but it's so powerful.
Hair.
Don't get me wrong. I actually really like the shorter. Last year we went through so much and you know this because obviously we talk a lot. And for you guys that are listening, we went through almost a bankruptcy and most specifically my husband, which
I didn't know that you shared that here.
Well, we shared on one of the episodes, the latest episode where Justin has been here and on his podcast.
I need to catch up on that one.
Yeah.
I'm proud of
we
you
talk
for
about the
sharing
bankruptcy, like being so close and how hard it was, you know? And I felt it was actually May. So 1 year ago, I felt like I could control nothing because ultimately his business is not my business and I'm not the CEO of his business.
Right.
And the only thing that I could have controlled in my mind was my hair.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Same but different, but same. We were going through the worst time of my entire life.
Oh, God.
And so it's like, who the hell am I? I don't even know anymore. So cut this bitch off. And like, here I am.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, it's so powerful though. I did like multiple changes aside of cutting it and I cut like, a decent amount. Yeah. But it felt truly so free. I really, really hope that you have never gone through bankruptcy because we didn't do it. We were very close. But it's awful. You know, you just feel like your whole life and everything that you work for is just evaporating basically.
I'll share here, but we too, during that period of time, had some financial things that had happened to us that were pretty horrific that I had discovered. And on top of like Eddie's dad dying, us losing 2 babies, and then also discovering this huge financial issue and huge financial turmoil that we were going through. And I was like, am I going to be able to get out of bed tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Questionable. So yeah, it made me feel like I could restart in a way, as stupid as that was. And so then I did. And then like, I've always loved fashion, but I'm like, I'm going to push the boundaries as to what I'm going to show up in and what I'm going to wear and be even bolder than I had ever been before. And so now that's kind of like overflowed into our new brand. So our new brand color is this color.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I'm obsessed with it.
So
I'm
good.
so excited about it. Yeah.
Check out your website yesterday. And of course, you share some of the photos and I'm like, iconic, typical.
Thank you.
Typical Persephone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you know, I just feel like, why the hell not? Like you're only this age, this time, right?
Yes.
You're only this hot right now. I'm like,
You know what? I typically try to turn off my phone at 10:45, so all my apps get blocked.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Except I was sneaky and I went to my break and unlocked my phone because I was like, I really want to see my photos from like 10 years ago and 15 years ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so confident then. Like, like, why can we not just translate that to today? Like, you know what? So I'm like, again, like dressing the part, like your personal brand, showing up. I mean, it's, oh my gosh, it's one of the most important decisions that you can make. It's crazy because a lot of people in the wedding industry, I feel like they, you know, show the beautiful photos of their clients, but they just don't show up.
The reality of the wedding industry is, and I feel privileged enough that a lot of people trust me with their businesses, but also their personal lives that pour into their businesses. A lot of us are just very insecure people. And to show up consistently online is like really facing your deepest, darkest fear.
Yeah.
Every single day. And it's like public speaking on steroids because you can see the people who are like staring at you, not giving you any engagement, just like staring at you. Thank you for the hate view, by the way. Like, but that, I think most people internalize that versus just continue to push through that. And what I think you've done so beautifully with your business is you've taken you and spun it off into something much larger than you. And same. And I don't think at this point anyone's expecting to be working directly with me, and no, people don't expect me to be writing content, but they know that I'm deeply involved because there's like a through line there. And that comes down to what you wear, and that comes down to how you show up. And is there consistency in that? Is there a point of view? And I think sometimes people just get into their head that they think that what they're doing day to day is not interesting. But I'm like, no, I want to know what you're eating in the morning and like what time you wake up and like how you get through the day with your 4 children and also producing all these events. I want to know that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Social media has changed quite a bit, right? And right now we don't only want to see pretty things. People are going to hire you based on your personality if they can connect with you and trust you.
Period. And founder-led content is some of the most powerful content you can possibly have too, you know? So.
I feel like I need to continue to push myself doing that.
I'll push you.
Yeah, please do. Like we're pushing each other
of course,
every day.
I love it so much.
I know, me too. We've spoken about a lot of things that most people would not understand, like being near a bankruptcy or having a lot of financial issues while you lost a lot of, you know, loved ones around you.
Yeah.
How do you decompress, and what are your non-negotiables that you have to do? Because as a CEO, not just as a business owner, as a CEO, you have to have a routine because that honestly, that's what is going to keep you going.
You and I are control freaks. We love a routine. A little bit.
Oh my gosh. She was like, you're type A. I'm like, if I'm type A, you're like type triple A.
Oh my gosh. No, I think you're triple A.
What?
Yes, for real. Yes, for sure.
That's so funny.
It is really funny. It's like your perception of yourself is somehow
type B for sure.
No. For me, I wake up at 5 a.m. almost every single day.
Oh my God.
I know. And I work out every single day. And that is my non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I would say like meditation goes in and out. Sometimes journaling is every single day.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 7-minute timer. I put a 7-minute timer.
Really? I'm going to start doing that.
Yep. And I always have the same thing. What do I want my vibe to be? What am I grateful for? Who am I sending love to? You've been on there multiple times.
Thank you.
A mantra.
Yeah.
Anything I want to manifest. And then my punch list of to-dos.
Okay.
That like what Emily was telling us the other day of like your brain dump and then your prioritization.
Okay.
In that 7 minutes.
Okay.
And then it's done. And that's like my gift to myself so that I don't feel like I'm just like raw dogging the day. You know what I mean? Where you're just like immediately in your calls or in
Yes.
whatever task you have to handle. I don't like days like that.
Right.
So
Yeah. I mean, mine is very similar to yours. It's obviously workout. Like I
I was
could
gonna
not miss
say,
the workout. It's weights and also
Yep.
cardio.
Yep.
On the days that I cannot do a 30-minute cardio, 33-minute cardio, I go 10% over.
So proud of you. An overachiever. Even with the workouts.
Yeah, 33 minutes. But on the days that I cannot do that, I do a bouncer, use a bouncer for 15
I
minutes.
love those.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, yeah. They're so good for you.
They're
It's
really, really good for
incredible.
you.
But
Yes.
15 minutes, like go by like this. You listen to
Yes.
Persephone's podcast or
love
mine. Meditation is a big one for me. I either do the sauna or I do red light therapy, and that's when I'm meditating.
Love.
I will say that journaling didn't actually work for me, but I didn't do it like you did. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and take notes.
Yeah.
It really worked out for my sister. She was basically thanking for things that she didn't have and she wanted to manifest.
Totally.
But the thing is that I did that. This was actually last year. And I think I was just driving myself nuts because after like every day putting the things that I really wanted, you know, like family, like have kids and stuff, I knew that I wasn't there yet. And the fact that I was writing that, I feel like it just didn't work out for me at all. And I love the fact how you explained it and what you do, because that's my meditation. I literally like the first thing I do is thank God for today and for my family and for the opportunities I have. And then, you know, like it's the same as you, like
Absolutely.
you pray for everybody else.
Yes.
So meditation is like a form of
Prayer.
yeah.
Completely. I will tell you, I've been doing this same exact prompt for years, especially when I was struggling to get pregnant. And so I would say thank you. I hope I don't cry on your podcast, but I would just say thank you so much for the baby, because I thought it was going to be one, the baby that I have in the family that I have. So I would really encourage you to keep doing that, even if it doesn't feel like it's immediate.
Yeah.
Like it allows you to envision that thing and how that feels. And I really believe that that helped me. It
Really?
like calmed a sense. Yeah, for sure. And then I could like feel and like see myself. Truly, I could envision it. I remember the night before I went through IVF, Eddie's aunt is like very woo-woo witchy. And she did Reiki and acupuncture on me. And I remember her talking me through this and like envision how it feels. Like envision when that nurse gives you that baby, but that's that like weight for the first time. I know.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, I'm just going to have faith that this is going to work out. Like I'm going to
I'm just so scared of doing that because when I did it, I knew that I was so far from that
but
reality.
you don't know.
Ugh.
But
Well,
you
no,
don't
no,
know.
I really did because we were not even trying, you know,
Right,
and we were about
right.
to lose like basically everything.
Right.
And so I was like saying thanks for things that I didn't have that I may try it again. I just know that I almost drove myself crazy.
I think it's also being realistic with your manifestations and your prayers, right? It's like, is this a 2-year dream?
Okay.
Because like be fair to yourself, but also you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So I have like all of my goals and manifestations laid out in like short-term and long-term things.
Okay.
So that I feel like I'm achieving when I look back as well. Because I don't know, sometimes it's like I want that white Chanel purse that I sent you. And like, I want that by the end of the year. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to like make sure that I achieve that.
Yeah.
Or whatever surgery that I want in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. I guess I didn't see it that way. And you're right. If you're truthful to yourself and like, okay, is that something achievable right now? Because otherwise you're going to beat yourself up. You know? And I feel like that's what I did. So thank you for all those notes.
Absolutely.
By the way, this is kind of like the conversations that her and I have every day.
Yeah,
So
really
like,
every day.
I love talking to her.
I know. I love talking to you so much.
Yeah, me
it's my
too.
favorite. It's like such a safe space. I'm glad that people can see our friendship finally.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the meetups that we have, we are so specific on how we show up that it's not just like having coffee with a friend, it's truly growing. Like, you know, that every single time that we talk, we're going to grow and we're going to push each
100%.
other. Yeah.
100%. You've pushed me more than any other person.
Really? I know you said that. And I'm like, me?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, because you are so good at working on refinement of your own business. And so it just like naturally flows out of you. You're just like, look at this, look at this. And I was like, why haven't we been doing, Eddie, why haven't we been doing these things? Like, it's so important. And then within WIPA, I think I can share now, but we are going to be marketing the entire WIPA conference because you pushed me to ask for it.
Oh my gosh, you just had to.
I know, and I agree, but you're like, you just need to be taking this over. And I was like, I'm just going to ask for it.
It's a huge ask, by the way.
Yes,
I get
it is.
it. I get
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
But also, I'm game. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it 300%.
100%.
So like,
Well,
yeah.
It's like 100, I said 100.
No, but
yes,
it's,
like
but
you
it's
have
true.
to.
It's true. And I'm excited to work with you on like what it needs to be. And so it was like, yeah, let's just do this together.
Yeah,
So,
I'm so excited. And I'm so excited as this is going to continue to reveal, because if you see what she's done with events and other brands that are like,
you.
oh, I mean,
Thanks,
if you see her portfolio, it's incredible.
Thank
So the
you.
fact that you're going to be able to produce the first WIPA conference and help them be where the conference needs to be is just so exciting.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. By the way, if you are a vendor, make sure that you join
Go to
us.
WIPACon.
Yes,
Well,
definitely.
unofficially branded WIPACon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited to see what you're going to do. Yeah. So we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
The way we showed up in our businesses, like even honestly last year or the year before, you know, obviously 10 years before, it's not the way we show up now. And I feel like that we have grown so much as business owners and individually, it really shows how we are today.
Totally.
Tell me more about that difference, like how you were showing up before and how you show up now.
Gosh. Okay. So I personally took on everyone's problems. And even though, especially even 7 or 8 years ago, like at the earliest most point of my business, it was me and my cousin. So before I left my company or my previous employer, Wedding Wire and the Knot, I hired my cousin in Greece and trained her for a year because I knew I was about to leave. So I was like, and she was in college and she was about to leave college. So I went to Greece, she came to the US and we did this and it was awesome. When a company had any hiccups in their business, I took it on as my own personal victory and failure, depending on where their emotion was. And I do not hold that anymore. Everyone is going through a version of business trauma in their lives is what I've learned. And everyone is going through some level of excellence and heartbreak simultaneously, sometimes not in the same year, but it's not for me to fix or for me to take on or to cure. And I think releasing that for myself was like incredibly empowering and it allowed me to scale.
Yeah.
It really allowed me to get out of my own head and to scale and not beat myself up because I'm like, this person didn't hit their e-com goal. There was only so much I can do. You know, there's only so much that I can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I love it.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that I don't take on people's goals like they're not my own. I do.
Oh, you 100% still do. Yeah.
However, it's just that emotional side that I was like draining my energy and depressed. It was like really crazy.
Let's talk about self-talk because you mentioned that a little bit ago.
Yes.
And it's just so important. I feel like, I mean, people are so harsh on themselves.
Oh my gosh.
And the way you talk to yourself is so important because oftentimes we're jerks to each other's.
Yeah. I'm actually curious to know like what you do to bootstrap yourself up from bad days.
Yeah.
And then I'll answer too.
Okay.
But I'm like so intrigued. Yeah.
So honestly, sometimes I can be in my head and it's like a spiraling thing. And sometimes during the month, it's even a little worse, you know, and I talk to Vicky all the time about this, but sometimes I literally have to clap and do this like, stop. Like, you're so freaking annoying. Like, would you really talk to that to a friend of yours who is doing a lot? No, you wouldn't. I really have to do that. And to be honest, sometimes I just have to listen to something. Every day that I wake up now, I really hope that God is in my thoughts before I start getting in my thoughts because sometimes I can be very dangerous. And the crazy thing is I can be my worst enemy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Isn't that wild?
Oh, yeah. You know, it just also makes me feel so seen. And I'm sure like all of your listeners also feel so seen because that's so relatable. I think that I've become, especially over the past 1.5 to 2 years, completely delusional. I have, because I really, the past 2 years have been gnarly, as you know. And I needed to make sure that like, as much as I could humanly do, that I was doing my best and like crushing it and telling myself like I am crushing it.
Yeah.
When sometimes I knew that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was hard to get out of bed or to motivate myself. But you have a team relying on you and I have a team relying on me. And we're the face of the company and the brands. If we don't do that, then what's going to happen? So I have been like the delusional self-talk is real for me right now. And it's helping. Like, because thoughts become things, right? So if you keep telling yourself that you're amazing, not in an overly egotistical way or narcissistic way, but like that what you're doing is amazing and that this work is amazing, why is it not okay to say that?
Yeah.
Like, what we're doing and producing is awesome. Why should I downplay that?
Right.
Like, it's true. And some days we'll be off. Okay, that's true too. But like, we're killing it right now. So I'm going to say that.
I love the fact that you said that, because I actually have, like, now that I'm reflecting on it, I definitely have heard a lot of like super successful people like Elon Musk and so on that say that you have to be delusional to be able to make it, because ultimately you have to be your biggest cheerleader regardless of how much you're going through.
Yes.
And something that I didn't understand even with Justin's business, I was like, why don't you just give up? Like, you have to give up. This is insane. You're putting us through so much. We may lose everything, you know? And he basically said, and I love the analogy, and I think he said it on the podcast, sometimes he talks on the podcast more like with analogies more than he talks to me. So it's like different.
I want to hear this episode. You have to send me this episode.
I'll look for it. But anyways, he basically said, like, it's like looking at a tunnel, like a black tunnel, it's like pitch dark. And then you see a tiny little light, like a tiny dot of light.
Yes.
Would you go back if you see that? I'm even getting the chills
it like makes
that.
me want to cry because it's completely true. We were in $500,000 worth of debt in loans.
Oh my gosh, Persephone.
And I understand that feeling where you're just like, I have 2 little boys. There is no option to fail.
Yeah.
There is no option to fail. I cannot. I have to get up. I have to pick up the phone. I have to email somebody. I have to show up to this call that I don't want to be on.
Yeah.
I have to. But then I think just that step forward and that like little light, when things just start to have little moments of joy, it might not even be closing a deal. It might not even be like profitable. It might not even be anything that great, but just a really good call, a really good energy with somebody, a really good connection. You're like, that's momentum forward.
Right. I honestly, I felt so bad because when he explained it that way, I was like, who am I to tell you to stop if you know that you're going to freaking kill it?
Right.
If it's not right now, if it's going to be in a few months, maybe a year, maybe years. I mean, it's been 10 years, FYI. So it's been a very long journey. On the other hand, it's like, who am I to tell you to stop? You know what I mean? So that really gave me a lot of perspective. And don't get me wrong, I don't even know that I've said this to him directly, but I was like, maybe he's maybe he truly is delusional to the point that he's not going to make it, you know? And again, once he explained that, I was like, wow, like I can't.
I actually fully understand that. Yeah. I think after going through that, there were moments where like, there was no option to turn back.
Well,
There's
yes,
no turning
100%.
back.
And he says that all the time.
Nope.
Yeah.
You have to trudge forward. But I also think, and I tell you this all the time, that so many people have experienced what you've experienced and what I've experienced. They just don't talk about it. And I think that's the power of this conversation because it makes people feel like way less alone.
Yeah.
Or lots of companies have gone bankrupt
Oh my God.
and bounced back. We know of some, very good friends of ours that are like absolutely crushing it.
Yeah.
And they had to take that step
Yeah.
and learn from it. So it's like there are little lights if you have that conviction and that belief in yourself because you aren't employable anymore. I'm not employable anymore.
There's absolutely no
Let's be
way.
so for real.
Yeah.
Like there's no other option. This is the option.
Yeah. And
Like,
Justin literally just said this like a couple of days ago, by the way. Like there's no way he's going to work for
come
somebody else.
on. We're like wild stallions.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to gate us in. It's impossible.
But whenever you're down in that spiral, or on that like moment where, like last year for you, I think it was last year for me as well. It's just so hard to sometimes like see that light,
For sure.
So having accountability with somebody, like, hey, you're really not alone. If you listen to a podcast or really try to have like friends that have gone through that.
Yeah, it's helpful.
That's just super helpful.
Or a sounding board, which is what I think has been so beautiful about our friendship. It's like, I know this feels so heavy right now, or I feel like this is a huge decision or whatever, but we've created a safe space with each other. And we always say we're under NDA. We're under NDA all the time because then you can be honest. And also like, I'm going to tell you if I think you shouldn't do whatever you're deciding, and vice versa. Like, I know that you're going to tell me the truth.
And another thing that I was thinking about, and I obviously had to reflect a lot when we were so close to losing everything. And I mean, like our cars, obviously our building and our house. I was freaking out. But then I realized I just have to trust that things are going to work out because ultimately I have to put in the work and show up. And what is the worst case scenario? Like, honestly, losing all the things that you have. I mean, you came with nothing. You're going to leave with nothing. I came to the United States twice with literally one luggage. Can I do it again with the experience I have? Oh my God, I would kill it. If I start over again for the third time.
Right.
So it's like, what is the worst thing that can happen?
I can't wait to talk about that more because I don't know that full story. So we're going to
Really?
have to save that for part 2 of my podcast.
Yes.
Because I don't know that full story. That's insane and incredible. So yeah, you're like, I'm good, but you've accomplished so much, and all of these dips, and the highs are high and the lows are low in ownership, right? And so long, I think, as we're not repeating the same low, it's not the same low.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if you do it twice, that's on you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're learning something, and for all intents and purposes, like, we're newer business owners still, right? So we're going to screw things up a bunch of times until we start screwing up less.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I thought you were going to say until we don't. I'm like,
no, it's just
a little less.
A little bit less. Yeah.
That's makes smarter decisions sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to talk to you about copycats. You had a whole podcast about that. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. I'm tired of it, and I'm just going to go off on a soapbox for you, okay? Because you're not going to do this the way that I'm going to do this. But what you built is so specific, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
What you built is so specific, and you're one of one. And all of us in our businesses are one of one because we all have different sauce. We all have different strengths. The wedding industry is blending so much that it's actually screwing us all up, and like, that middle tier is disappearing because this person is knocking off this person at the highest point too. I won't name names, but there's some very big players knocking off other very big players. And I'm like, you guys are creative geniuses. Look in other directions. Look somewhere else. Make your thing different. But for whatever reason with you, to that person or people, the copy and paste of your business is so sickening and disgusting to me because, like, you created this. You have made this brand. And when I see these color combinations, the only person and brand that I think about is yours. That is so deliberate, and no one can take that from you. You can try, and it's like taking a fake Chanel off of the side streets of Fifth Avenue. You're the real McCoy, and you're the real thing. And so no one can take that, no matter how hard they try. But I think our industry is riddled with people just looking too much at their competitors, that whether it's conscious or unconscious, they're losing themselves in the process, actually.
Can we please stop that? And thank you so much for all the kind words.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny because the Copycat podcast episode launched before I reached out to you this weekend. I was like, oh my gosh, my lawyer just sent a cease and desist today on Mother's Day to somebody
happy day
in Dallas. I was copying everything. I'm like, are you kidding me? As you said, like, we are creatives. And I know that's happened to you before as well.
Totally.
Many
Someone tried to
times.
take my name and I made them change it.
Yes. What is that quote that we keep forgetting?
Oh, it's like that it's flattering for people to copy you. It's such bullshit, okay? Like, that's the essence of that. Do your own thing.
Yeah.
Everyone takes inspiration from other people, right? Like, we listen to other business owners to gain some sort of insight.
Yes. Do you remember that quote? It says, if you are copying one person, you're stealing. If you're really copying and learning from others, you're just doing research. Why can't you just do that?
Do research all day long.
And do yourself a favor and be unique to you, because ultimately it's going to be better for your brand too.
Can you imagine the pit that person would have? But they know, that's the thing. They know that they're doing something wrong, I believe, fundamentally. I think sometimes floral producers and planners get in this web where they're like, well, I'm trying to appease the client. Well, if you are a designer or a planner or a creative, you have the ability to guide. So it feels the same, but you're adding this thing that makes it your own.
Emily Clark actually spoke about this not too long ago.
She sure did.
Yeah, I love it.
She sure did. And but you can do it at every level.
Yeah. Just so you guys understand what type of level we get copied, we've literally had, both of us, people working with us, like getting paid to copy us, basically compete with us while on our payroll.
Yeah. Or paying me even clients.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Clients.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just like, You're so far behind. This is my expertise. This is my expertise. This is my sandbox.
Yeah.
This is your sandbox. You can try, but like,
But
the
you know what,
sauce is the
P? Like
sauce.
ultimately, I mean, it does absolutely suck, and we're
Yeah.
always gonna have them,
Sure.
and it's absolutely not flattering to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
no,
infuriating.
yeah,
Yes, it's
yeah. But on the
infuriating.
other hand, it really does make us push more and be the more creators because if we, I mean, if we have people behind us, we're game on. You know what I mean?
I have to be honest with you. I was so upset and hurt and all those things at first. And then I realized I think I told you this the other day. I didn't tell you who, and I will tell you offline. But I realized I'm not competing. We're not going after the same people. This other company never comes into my purview, ever. They've only taken previous clients of
there you
ours.
go. There you go.
So it's like, because we're not playing the same game, baby. We're not playing the same game. Like, we started producing at a different level that it will be very hard to finance that, to achieve that.
Yeah.
So like, keep going. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I know this may sound a little petty from us, like to be saying this. However,
No, it's not.
you don't
This
think
is our
so?
baby. No.
well, yes, I mean, it is.
This is our baby and
yeah.
our
I don't like,
livelihood.
and I told you, like, do not.
Yes.
Justin and I have the saying, like, do not mess with the coals. Like, don't mess with us.
I love that you
you're
say
like,
that so much.
Don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not gonna get into fights ever if we don't have to. You know what I mean? However, if the gloves are off, I mean, we're gonna protect what's ours. You know, and it's always gonna be that way.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting to be the only one in the industry doing this at all.
Same.
At the end of the day, you guys, like, the competitors will push you to continue to do
Refine.
better.
Yeah.
But again, just like I really hope that if any of our competitors are listening,
Probably are.
and they probably are, and that's okay. We genuinely want you to be unique. We want you to have your own personal brand.
Absolutely.
Like, put your personality and show people what you're
Yes.
built like and what you can offer. Because ultimately,
Totally.
that's why the people are going to hire you. You don't want to be the knockoff, correct?
Exactly. I will tell you what that did for me after I got past like the hurt of a friendship and like put that to the wayside was the refinement of our process, the refinement of our offering.
Yeah.
We just like double down because again, we have 7+ years in doing this. So you can start tomorrow and you're like, and same with you, you've been doing this. You already have made the errors and fixed them and refined your processes that it's very hard to compete with that.
Yeah.
But you can try.
You can try.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about hiring people and delegating. When was the first time that you hired somebody? Was it like right off the bat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in 2019, January 2019, before I left my company. My cousin was my first hire.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You literally just mentioned
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's
it's
one of
fine.
those things, and I'm so glad you hired. I hired somebody, I think it was a month in after quitting my job and going full time
Yep.
because I was like, oh my God, if I can sell my art at 2 markets at the same
Yes,
time,
exactly.
my
You're like,
revenue is going to double.
I'm going to be rolling in it. Yeah.
So, I mean, aside of like, for instance, like photographers hiring a second shooter and stuff like that, why is it so hard for people to want to hire?
I think it's control.
Okay.
I think it's also no one can do it better than you. And there's merit to that until you hire people who are better than you and you have them under strict contracts.
Correct. Yep.
Right?
Yeah. We just spoke about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the relinquishing control is really, really tough. I haven't shared this here, but I grew too fast and hired way too many people.
Yes. That's one of the topics I really want to discuss.
Yes.
Because that happened to us too.
Yep. And I think we were like really living parallel lives.
Yeah. Which we didn't know.
We had no idea at the time. We were both under so much extreme stress. We didn't have the friendship that we have now.
No.
So we did not communicate these things, but both of us were hiring insane.
Well,
amounts
I
of
mean,
people.
no. You were like, how many
80.
employees?
It was 80. Yeah.
That's insane for somebody.
It was gross. Yeah.
It was gross.
It was gross. I mean, we had no profit.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand profit also.
Right.
Like, I'm a salesperson. I'm like, I look at top line revenue. I was not looking at these things. It was like just first timer mistakes, stupid mistakes, and under the guidance of not the right financial advisors as well. So
Yeah. The faster you grow, the highest you can fall from. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those things like Shark Tank, right? You see a cool product and like how they sell everything they have. They hire a ton of people. They're trending. And a lot of people go through this when they have viral videos as well.
Yes.
And again, they're just taking way more than they can actually produce. And the problem is that sometimes it's just trends. And sometimes the economy is not how it used to be. And there's nothing you can do to control it. However, just when you are growing so fast, be careful, understand your margins, because ultimately that's something that for some reason it takes us, in my case, almost 10 years to understand. That is the most important part.
The most important thing you can possibly learn is your numbers. And I think especially women, I don't want to link it, but I think women, we often try to push that to someone else.
Yes.
And we have to face it.
Yeah.
Like, we have to face it, because then why the hell are we doing this? Yeah. It's not a charity.
Yeah.
You know?
We're like, oh, we just kind of delegate the numbers because that's the least thing that I like to do. I went to school for marketing and for some reason, don't ask me why, I totally apparently forgot about my finances and like accounting classes.
Same, evidently. Same.
So I had to, I had to take an SMU course and like, I even have like a diploma and everything because I needed, girl, I needed to understand my numbers because I wasn't in a bad spot, but the fact that I didn't understand them, that was just so wrong. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, like, the only way up is through sometimes, right? And so at least, again, that's where I'm like so blown away that you took a course to make sure that you had this specific skill set. That's one of those examples of things that I admire about you, because I'm like, of course you did. Of course you did. Where I dug my head deeper into, I just need to sell more and like hustle culture, which actually was leading to more hiring and worse of a financial situation. But yeah, I hate that so many of us have to go through that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that shouldn't be a cautionary tale for you to not hire people, because, right? Like,
I mean, ultimately, definitely don't hire too fast and understand how much that's going to cost you. Like, I actually have 2 people training right now for their replacements and they know it, by the way.
Did you start videoing the training?
Oh, I will.
Okay, good.
100%. I will.
Okay,
yeah. That same night I sent an email to my operations manager. I'm like, we need to do this and SOPs.
Yes, absolutely.
So what Persephone is mentioning basically is I told her like, hey, I'm training people and I have 2 people training, again, their replacements, and it's 2 to 3 months. Well, 2 to 3 months is like over $10,000 per head. You know what I mean? And the people that are the trainees, which they're not really producing. So you're talking about $40,000 within a span of 3 months.
No, ma'am. When she said this, I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. We have to cut this down.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Yes. And we do have SOPs, by the way. But again, Persephone was like, well, what if you do videos? And so maybe they do train for like a month, but then they rely on the videos. I'm like, genius, let me write this down.
Yeah. No, we started doing that and it changed everything. I mean, SOPs changed everything for us too. But I had a huge fall from grace, if I'm so honest. And I've been honest with you, but with your audience. We grew so quickly because I went to so many consecutive engages. Every time I went to engage, it was $1 million. By the end of the year, we were generating an additional $1 million. Oh, yes, girl. And I tracked, you know me, I tracked everything in my CRM.
Yeah.
So I could say like this conversation originated from this specific engage. And they still, by the way, are yielding, which is incredible. And also, we weren't tracking time. Every single project, not only was I underpriced, but I was overstaffed. And so I was like completely upside down on every project. Like, are we for real right now? So that had to stop. I had to pump the brakes. And so then my guest experience was going down. I had shitty employees. I had employees, some of them were working, some of them weren't working. I felt so out of control.
Right.
But then I'm also being told by my finance team that I need to sell more, sell more, sell more.
Yeah. Increase your top line, increase your top line. That you hear that all the time. You're like, okay, you know, like spending more time or more money on advertising and trying to get as many clients as possible.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting and it's scary too, because it's like, I didn't know how to get out of my own way.
Yes.
So I felt like I was juggling so many things and like all the balls hit me on the way down. And they did for a period of time. They did.
Yeah.
And then we figured it out.
Yeah.
But we turned so many people and it sucks, but I learned and I can approach them now and apologize. I think I told you I went to a lot of them to apologize for like, you know, I know a lot better now. I'm so sorry that I didn't give you the experience that I could give you now, unfortunately.
And like the fact that you did that though, it means so much because first of all, because you have to be frank with yourself to do it. And number 2 is like, you have to have a crazy level of humbleness. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Humility.
Humility.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Humbleness, I think, also works, but humility works too.
I'm gonna look it up because honestly,
Yeah.
sometimes I make my own words up, and
I love
sometimes
that.
they do work. They're
Sometimes they work. There you go. They
okay.
worked right
Well,
there. I think so.
Humility. That.
See, time tracking, humility. It's like tongue twisters today.
Yeah. But there's a certain level for you to actually reach out to somebody else and say like, hey, I messed up. That really takes a lot, you know.
I
from
was really
somebody.
scared to do that, but it was really important to me because I'm like, damn it, like if I could, maybe we'll never work together again, but at least how you feel about me is going to be different now.
Yeah.
You're going to have respect for me as a business owner.
100%.
It does take a lot to admit your faults.
Yeah. And this goes in personal lives as well, right? Like, I mean, like even with Eddie and Justin, it's like he not too long. Yeah. Not too long. He was actually like, just never say sorry. I'm like, whatever. I do say sorry all the time. And then I started reflecting that, like, obviously not in front of his face. But I'm like, do I really not say sorry? For him to think that way, I'm not going to say sorry if I didn't mess up.
Right.
However, if I really did mess up or did something that I shouldn't have, or I needed to, I now try to be humble enough to be like, you know what? I was wrong and I am sorry.
Yes.
Right? It's so powerful.
It is actually, you know, I work with my husband. And so I do find us saying sorry to each other a lot because like sometimes my reaction is abrasive, but as his wife, it's not nice. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm talking business, but I'm still his wife. So it's like, so there's a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sorry is a powerful thing to say.
Yeah. I also want to talk to you about visibility, right? We spoke about our personal brands. Sharing this kind of stuff is super raw. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're sharing like nothing almost, but we went through a lot. And I mean, it was tears literally sometimes every single day. She mentioned not being able to even get out of bed sometimes or pushing through it. How much do you think some people like should really share online versus not?
I think that once you've pushed through the storm.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. When you're in the storm, you shut the okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not a good look for the company.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's be honest.
Yes.
It's not a good look for the company. I think I felt very detached from my social presence and I was really hardly sharing.
Oh my gosh, I was
content.
the same way.
Yeah. Really.
Oh my God, ask Vicky. I was like literally not showing my face on Instagram almost at all.
No, almost not at all.
And my engagement went down, of course.
Same. And I was posting maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And having to push yourself to do it. Yeah.
It felt like such a chore. And even though my team wanted to take over, I was like, but this feels very inauthentic for me. For me, I need to still be in control of my personal brand. I had nothing nice to say to myself. And so I had nothing nice to say to other people. And so, there is a balance to that now I feel comfortable and confident to discuss it because it's like, we're still going through it. We're almost, thank God, through all of it. But I don't think it's the most attractive look, unfortunately, when you're like actually in the eye of the storm.
I totally agree. I didn't understand that before.
Yeah.
And I do now. And honestly, it's one of those things like I do it so much because I really do protect my personal brand. I just want to make sure that at the end of the day, I'm not showing up online and whining. I want to make sure that if I'm sharing something, it's actually because I really want to teach my story to somebody so they don't go through the same thing and try to avoid somebody just going through the same storm, basically.
Completely. I also felt like when I was going through all of this, for me personally, it was a lot of like, I was also still going to a lot of events still. So it was like a lot of like, look at me. Not that my life has changed very much, by the way. It's like different types of events.
Yeah.
But I felt like I couldn't share anything but that because I didn't have anything nice or interesting to say.
Yeah.
And so that was the only thing that I felt like I could say that was interesting at the time, which I don't feel that way at all anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Like maybe I'll just share my dog. You never know.
Right. Yeah. I also want to talk to you about networking. Obviously, we're on the Whipple board together. And I want to talk about the different types of networking. I mean, you were so truthful with me to say like, and we're not going to name anybody,
we
right?
won't name names
No,
here.
no.
Yeah.
But you were like, you should not be a part of that group. Like, it's not going to bring you anything. And I was like, what is she talking about? This is, by the way, like whenever we started like, talking again, like a lot, you know? And I'm like, why would she say that? You know? And I didn't really understand it. I didn't question it. And after the first event, I was like, now I know. Now I know. So tell us a little bit about the type of networking that people should do based on all of the experience that you have with networking.
So I will say this, and I was having a conversation with Richard, who's my head of business development, and he happens to be one of my best friends. We work together. And I find that if you're going to go to something and you're going to take time away from your business, family, your husband, your dog, whatever, then you better get something out of it, a connection.
Yeah.
And you have to find the connection, even if it's really rough and like tough to do so, right? That is always my mindset, no matter what. However, I do think it's better to be in rooms where you're being pushed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're being pushed and you're not all on the same level.
Yeah.
And like, because it becomes boring, and especially for a business like yours, and frankly, a business like mine, we don't have the same problems because of the size and scale of our companies.
Right.
So we need to be in rooms that can help us deal with those problems versus just entering the business and the industry, which it's not a lack of humility there. It's just a truthful statement, right? I still want to talk to new business owners. I love talking to new business owners, but it's like, if your goal is to network with like-minded people, then you have to be in different rooms.
Yeah.
And limit the rooms that you're in at the same time.
And I had to learn that kind of like the hard way. I mean, even when I quit my job, this is 8 years ago. I remember I started going to like different networking events, which by the way, I hated them because it was just like random networking events. And I remember Justin's like, because again, this is like a big change from going to corporate to like, now you own your business, you know, and this is like within the first week. And Justin's like, is this how you're going to be running your business? And honestly, like he didn't have to say more for me to say, what am I doing?
Oh my gosh. I fully understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know Cam is coming on an upcoming episode, and I have this conversation with her all the time because she's at everything.
Yeah, she's at everything.
She's
we
at
talk
everything.
about this too. I'm like, how do you even do it?
I told her she needs to stop. I was like, you need to take inventory of these things because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of whatever bullshit time too, right? Like you better be milking that. And I'm not saying that you're just being opportunistic, but let's be honest, we all want something to come from these conversations, a door open, like a deeper connection, help, mentoring, something though.
Something.
That's not being a snot about it. It's just being truthful about a networking opportunity.
Yeah. So again, like even if you're not new, but it happens a lot with new people, they're just like think that they have to go to all the events. No, like be super mindful or where you're spending your time. How are you going to spend your time and what is going to be best for you to spend it at? Because I don't know. I went to some dinners and they were super fun. However, did I actually learn? Like sometimes you just have conversations. They don't have to be like business minded at all, right? Like in fact, some of our best friends, they don't know businesses at all. But every single time that we leave dinner, we're like, oh my gosh, I grew so much. My heart is so fulfilled, you know? Yeah. It's like good for your soul.
Completely.
Yes.
So I know I told you this, but I'll share this with your audience. So I went to Whip Philly again.
Oh yeah.
And there was a tornado warning or something. It got delayed. And we had a dinner where it was like a trauma bond dinner. It is one of my favorite group chats, maybe the most active group chat. And it's Julian, Carlos from Pedal Productions, Alan Sai, Moses, and Michaela, who was also just here.
Yeah.
And
today, we launched today.
I saw that, and like all totally different like vantage points of the industry, right? But we ended up going to dinner together because there was no dinner like prepared. Yeah. And so it actually created a safe space where we could talk about harder things and like just ping pong ideas. Are you going to this? Are you going to that? No, because what? Like, it's great.
Yeah.
And will business happen there? Yeah, for sure. But also there has to be a takeaway from your time. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, agreed. And then a very long time ago, you told me that whenever I go to networking events, that you should have a hit list.
Yes,
and I love that. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so I'll speak to Engage specifically, or like an Engage type, right? Kindred, Kinetic, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many. You need to look at who is liking the content of that announcement or saying like, can't wait to go, see you there. And look at all of those people and then have a list on your phone of like those people's names. And then you take notes during those conversations. Like I will unapologetically be like, as we're talking, actually, do you mind if I just like take a note because I want to come back to this next week? So that then you're showing that you're serious about the conversation. I also always get the cell phone number. Like,
that's brilliant.
We're not going to be in emails anymore. We're friends now. So like you're going to get an audio note from me later. Like,
by the way, this is absolutely priceless. And I hope that you're taking a lot of notes.
Yes, because this really does work. But also like it helps you create deeper connections much faster. It just escalates things much faster. And so if you know that these 3 people are going to go there, like to this event, I wouldn't suggest prioritizing the Mindy Weiss. I would prioritize the people who will actually be able to afford and give you the time to maybe work with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
so brilliant.
Yeah.
I love the way you think. I mean, it's so
Always.
mesmerizing. And I just love
Always.
learning so much from you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I learned so much from you literally
Thank
every
you.
single day.
I seriously am like, from me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in this for a long time, but as I told you, I feel like I always lived in my studio as of last year. I started like going to more networking events and being more involved.
Yeah.
But thank you for saying that. That really means a lot.
Oh my gosh. I'm like truly blown away by the business that you built. And it's so
thanks.
impressive.
Thank
So
you.
yes, the way you think too is like, I think why this dynamic works well is the industry knowledge that I have, I like to share with you.
Yeah.
And then you like to share business acumen with me of minute details that make such a big difference. Hiring, like
delete all the unread emails or do something
gosh.
about that inbox.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, yes. And that changed my freaking life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had 3,000 emails, okay? When I took 3 hours on the plane to fully
Yeah. I was like, how do you operate with having a notification there that is like 3,000 things that you have to look at every day? Clean it. And then you did.
so
It's
beautiful.
a little thing sometimes.
It's so
Hey,
great.
I loved this conversation.
Me
So
too.
I feel like we definitely have to announce our part 2, which is going to happen literally in 2 days.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So after you've listened to this episode, then come on over to Persephone Says, and you're going to be there. We'll be in like the reverse seats. I'm so excited.
I'm so freaking excited because I know you guys learned so much on this episode. I learned so much. Took a lot of notes and I cannot wait for it to air so I can really apply everything that I learned from you.
Thank you,
as
friend.
always. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I can't wait to see you in a couple of days.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
You guys, I know you love this episode, as I mentioned. Make sure that you follow and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Make sure that you actually go to Persephone Says next week as the part 2 is going to launch then.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.